Operations management in today's military is as important as it ever has been, mostly due to the fact that although the military is very different in its mindset and its goals and objectives compared to a civilian organization, however, the military is still just as focused on sustaining operations, perhaps more so because of the fact that we're trying to get in the fight, stay in the fight, manage our resources, manage our people in order to sustain those operations. And we're on much tighter deadlines. With that said, there are a few different models that the military can do well at actually implementing and or continuing. First is the theory constraints model. Now, the theory constraints model is broken down into 5 steps. To put it plainly, it's identifying the constraint or the issues within your organization. Know what your issues are, know what your bottlenecks are. Second is exploiting them, knowing exactly how deep those issues go, testing your processes, testing your people, and from there, elevate it. Elevate the constraint. Let your people know, hey, we had this issue. This is what's being done to correct it. This is how deep it actually went. And this is the change that we're going to put in place going forward so that we don't actually have these issues. That way we learn from it. And, of course, in the military, we always like to call them the lessons learned. But at that point, that process, that step, that model is actually what allows us to come up with those lessons learned. And then from there, of course, repeat it. Keep that mindset. Keep that focus. Make sure that you're never making those same mistakes. This is why we have this procedure. This is why we have, this max spec or this whatever, right? That way we don't have those issues again. Next is the scheduling portion, right? So there's 2 main components to this. There is scheduling and CPM. Scheduling is more like we're going to get this done by this date and this done by this date. And you create a timeline of events for a certain project. Now from there, in that project, you have certain milestones that in order to hit, certain things have to be done. That's where CPM comes into play. CPM it's those milestones. CPM is something that is used typically by project managers to know where they're at within a project and whether they're actually on track to finish it on time. This is important in the military because although, yes, the U.S. Navy already uses the PERT model, and I do personally use that in my day-to-day profession within the Navy, CPM, scheduling, the theory of constraints model, all together in every military branch, they can still be beneficial. Mostly because, like I said before, we're on much tighter deadlines. We have to sustain operations. We have to get in the fight. We have to stay in the fight. So, yeah.